Welcome along to episode 17 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Gavin Lynch counting down to the 2021 Cheltenham Festival. It's been a rough couple of days, folks. You know that, I know that, Gavin knows that. It's been really, really tough. We won't know more until later in the week when the IHRB hearing takes place, and until then, we can't really know any more, Gavin. And anything that has been said on the subject has been said already. There's nothing really that we can add to it, and we just have to wait until Thursday or possibly Friday to find out more.
Yeah, look, it's been a horrible few days for the sport that we all love and adore, really. What happened was indefensible. A small bit of a cloud hanging over Cheltenham now, which is a huge pity. So, a huge range of emotions, say, since Saturday. But what can we do? We just have to keep going.
Absolutely. We'll wait to hear more later on in the week. So, we'll get on with the show. So as ever here on Upping The Ante, we kick off with our questions from the crowd. And the first one this week comes in from Lee Bigley. And Gavin, Lee wants to know, what would be the best storyline at this year's Cheltenham Festival?
There's a good question. There's always some great stories every year at Cheltenham. I'll give you two biggish ones and two really big ones.
Okay, so a lucky 15 of storylines.
Yeah. I think if Honeysuckle maintained her unbeaten record to win the champion hurdle, she's 10 from 10 at the track. If she won again, that would be just a brilliant story.
Bomb, yeah.
Atwood, for Henry, etc. And Rachel would be brilliant. Another great story will be if Paisley Park regained his stairs hurdle crown, lost it last year, won it the year before. It'd just be lovely to see Andrew Gamble again.
You haven't mentioned mine yet. Go on.
And my top two would be if Altior won the champion chase at the age of 11. He's 4 from 4 at the festival. He's
stripping off, getting the buttons open.
He's 5 from 5 at the track. I actually think he has a bit of a chance because I think I think he's better going left-handed. He mightn't be Shaq and Persuade, but I could see him running a good race.
Okay.
But the number one story, undoubtedly in Cheltenham this year, if it was to win, would definitely be Alboom Photo winning the Gold Cup for the third time in a row.
Absolutely.
4 horses have done it. It's a long time since we've seen it. Best mate, as you know, 2002, 2003 and 4. Arkle in the 60s. Do you know the other two?
No. I should.
Cottage Rake.
Cottage Rake, I should have got that.
48, 49 and 50, trained by?
Haven't a clue.
Vincent O'Brien.
What years?
1948, 49 and 50.
You're only in nappies.
I was only just a young lad then, going to school. Vincent O'Brien, for me, the greatest trainer of all time.
Whoa,
yeah.
Even now? Even now?
The best of all time.
Even now?
Yeah, he changed racing.
Is it getting close?
No.
Are others catching up? No,
really? he was the best. National Hunt, flat, he was a genius. That's just my opinion. And the other one was Golden Miller, who actually won it 5 times in a row.
I would have got Golden Miller. I don't know why I didn't get it.
It's
been a long week.
If Alboom Photo wins, there's undoubtedly he is the main story.
Yeah, and I interviewed Ruby Walsh in the big read in the Racing Post, and I said, if you come out of retirement to ride any Willie Mullins horse to Cheltenham Festival, kind of thinking he might go Shaq and Persuade, and he was like, Alboom Photo, and I go, really? And he was like, yeah. That's the only horse that can make history at Cheltenham this year is Alboom Photo.
Yeah, and the Gold Cup is the biggest race of the season for me. I think it's bigger than the Aintree National. And the funny thing about Alboom Photo is all the way through his career, he's never been regarded like a Duvan or a Vautour or so.
This will be his crowning moment.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. So that'll be the highlight for me.
Well, you got there in the end, Gavin.
Yeah.
Mine would certainly be Alboom Photo, Lee. So our second question this week comes in from Podge McHugh. And Podge wants to know, Willie Mullins has got his best ever fleet heading to Cheltenham. I don't think we can argue with that, Podge.
No.
But he wants us to rank his top 5. So 5 down to 1. He wants his top 5 chances in that order. Okay. And he wants a bit of VAT on top of it, Gavin. He wants to know the one Willie Mullins favourite we're taking on at the Cheltenham Festival. So take it away.
Willie has 12 fabs.
13.
12.
I did the story, 13.
No, St. Sam isn't favourite to the Boodles anymore at the moment. Now, that might change.
That should change.
It might.
He'll win.
So, my top 5. You want to go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5? 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
Okay.
5 to 1. 12.55.
5 Kilcrut in the bumper.
Oh, 5, right. Okay.
4 I'll go for Ellie May in the Mare's Chase. She's a great chance. 3 Shaq and Persuade.
3 Shaq and Persuade?
Yeah.
I thought that was the easiest bit, picking the 1.
No.
2.
2 I'll go for Concertiste in the Mare's Hurdle on the Tuesday. And number 1 Monkfish in the Brown Advisory Chase. Yeah.
Number 1?
Yeah. And you?
Okay, my number 5 would be Kilcrut.
Right.
Number 4 would be Monkfish.
Okay.
Number 3 would be Concertista.
Right.
Number 2 would be Ellie May. And number 1, without any thought, you don't need to spend time in this, Gavin. You got this wrong. It is Shaq and Persuade because of the poverty of the opposition. I think it's a really weak champion chase.
You don't have any former champion chasers in it?
No, I won't be taking off my shirt. No, Altior won't be winning the champion chase. They would be my top 5, and the easiest decision was number 1.
Okay.
Shaq and Persuade.
I'm going to give you 3 more favourites that I think will probably win, but just to mention them, is Appreciated, Galler, Dumanil and Statler.
Okay.
Appreciated, you can maybe find fault, but it's actually very difficult to find something that'll beat them. And I'm going to give you 3 favourites that may be worth opposing. I'm not saying they'll get beat, but it just...
You're lukewarm.
Yeah, I just would have doubts about them. Would be Allaho, Billaway and Hook Up. Now, I know you fancied Hook Up. And the 3 of them have a similar theme, is the jumping. Hook Up jumped bad the last day. I'll watch her. If she jumps well in running 2 hurdles in the last 7.5 furlongs and she's tanking at the top of the hill, she's a bet. Billaway didn't jump well last year in the Hunter's Chase. And Allaho, I don't know what's going to happen with tactics in the Ryanair this year. Willie has 3 horses that want all make it. With Mellon and Min as well as Allaho. So I think those 3 are certainly beatable.
Okay, very quick on the spot question, okay?
Yes.
Who will Paul Townend ride in the Ryanair Chase?
Don't know. I'll go for just Allaho.
Yeah.
Do you
Allaho,
think?
yeah, you're right. I think you'll ride
Head him
Allaho.
in.
Yeah,
He won't ride Mellon.
No, I think you'll ride Allaho.
Who's your one to take on?
My one to take on is probably Appreciated. And it's probably because I think, like you said, I just worry from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, okay? That 3 out, 2 out. I just wonder, will he get tapped for toe? That's the bit that worries me.
Yeah, it's just trying to find something.
He is the most likely winner, but I won't be backing him.
You know, as we said, I think last week's show that with Fernie Hollow and Deuceart out, I think they'd be fighting out for favouritism. I think Appreciated would have went to the Ballymore, but Willie has moved things around, so he's done a great job. Appreciated has won 2 grade ones. He's the right favourite. A lot of people are saying that he might get beat. It's just trying to find something that will beat him.
This is a very tough question. It's like finding flaws in Messi, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
He's not that tall, but he scores headers.
He does.
Do you know what I mean? So, there we go. That's Willie Mullins. That's his fleet going to Cheltenham. Hopefully we answered your question correctly, Podge. Our final question this week comes in from Carl Murphy. And Carl says, right boys, it's banker time, Gavin. He wants 1 horse from each of us. He's going to do a double. And if these 2 horses win, he's going to donate the winnings to the charity cycle.
Excellent. Sounds good.
So no pressure, Gavin. This is very important.
I will go for Ellie May at 2 to 1.
Okay.
Mare's Chase, Friday, maybe the second last race, thereabouts. Ellie May. I think that she's rock solid.
Ellie May. Okay, I'm going to do my maths here. So 1, 2, 3, okay, 26 to 1 double then, Gavin.
Right.
2 to 1 Ellie May.
Yes.
And 8 to 1. Yes, 8 to 1. Still 8 to 1. Unbelievably. Imperial Alcazar in the Pertemps final. Like, Gavin, this horse is not an 8 to 1 shot. This horse wins the Pertemps final.
Yeah, you keep saying that, Dave.
Yeah,
so.
well, if you keep,
what about the stats
if
about
you
winning
keep
a
saying
qualifier?
it, I might make you believe it.
What about the stats but you can't win a qualifier?
Yeah, those stats are a little bit worrying, but the only thing is, those stats don't take into account the ability of this horse.
You think he's a grade 2
horse? This horse is almost a grade 1 horse. And I would say in 2 years' time, we'll be talking about Imperial Alcazar running in grade 1 chases. I think he's that good. I think an £8 rise for Warwick win is more than fair.
Okay.
And I think even Fergal O'Brien talking about the Stayers hurdle afterwards tells you what they're thinking about this horse.
And I'll tell you what, if the 2 of them win, we'll give a few more quid on.
We certainly will, because we'll have had a good week.
We will. Just to tell you about the charity cycle, somebody put up on YouTube recently, is there somewhere that they can give a few quid? So if you go to GoFundMe and you search for Coast to Curragh, so go to GoFundMe, search for Coast to Curragh and maybe give a few quid. And don't forget that the charity cycle is now on September the 25th. And they're still racing that day in the Curragh, so it'll be a good day.
Brilliant. And there are some extremely generous people out there, so go to GoFundMe, Coast to Curragh.
Yep.
And hopefully Imperial Alcazar and Ellie May will do the business. Now it's time for the week that was. Yes, when Gavin Lynch gets to tell you all about the horses who have caught his eye over the last 7 days. Now, we're getting closer to Cheltenham, Gavin, so there's not going to be hundreds and thousands.
No.
But there's going to be a select few.
Yeah, no, there's a few. We're going to start on Thursday in Thurles.
Nice THs there from you.
With a horse that I've tipped up. It came to pass. By the way, Bet365, by the way, are non-runner no bet now. So the price I'm going to give you are non-runner no bet. So worth keeping that in mind.
I'd say you'd be happy to take your no bet, would you?
Well, I wouldn't totally give up. He's 10 to 1 now for the Hunter's Chase. The other day, we didn't actually get to see the unseat because it was so far back. It actually wasn't in the camera shot at the time.
No.
It had jumped quite well all the way around, made one mistake early on, and then you just didn't see the horse again. So just keep it in mind. I wouldn't totally give up because last year, on its last run before Cheltenham, it actually pulled up in a point-to-point. So it hates heavy ground. So
Maybe it's a good omen, so Gavin, maybe.
A similar head profile to last year. Grand Paradis was very, very impressive in the novice hurdle.
Will he get into the Martin Pipe 145?
No, I wouldn't think so. That's my opinion. He beat Goodbye Someday by an easy 13 lengths. That horse is rated 140, so I just can't see Grand Paradis getting into the Martin Pipe. And he's not entered in any other race, I don't think. He's 7-1 joint favourite for that race, but I don't think so. Friday in Warwick, a horse called Cabot Cliffs, which is the best golf course in Canada, did you know?
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Gavin, your mind of knowledge.
Go and have a look at the pictures of it. It looks amazing. 12-1 for the Boodles. It bolted up the other day in Warwick. It's only entered in the Boodles. Dan Skelton has been quoted saying, might go to Aintree, but I'd imagine it'll go here.
I'm worried.
Are you?
I'm worried. Yeah, I'm worried for St. Sam. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the Boodles, if you go through the winners, sometimes there's plot horses, obviously, okay? But sometimes you just get these juveniles that keep on improving and winning and getting confidence from winning. And Cabo Cliffs is a horse that is just that.
Yeah.
He worries me and he wears his heart on his sleeve. He'll go out there and try and make all.
And he jumps very well.
He does.
He jumps very fast.
I'm worried.
His rating before the other day was 129, so we'll see what that changes to.
Will he escape in the 130s? He probably will.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get probably another £8 or £10 for that.
Certainly.
It was 5 seconds quicker than the Mayor's Bumper, just to point out. On to Kempton on Saturday. Probably the most impressive performance of the week was Tritonic. It's now, I think, 3-1, 5-2 shot for the Triumph Hurdle.
Wow.
I was impressed. It beat Casalupi by 10 lengths. It beat it previously at Ascot just over a month ago by 1 length. So obviously he's improved a lot. Alan King is a great man at these 4-year-olds. It was rated 99 on the flat. Ended up running over, say, 1.5 miles. At the fourth last, third last and second last, it was just a bit slow. It wanted to get the jumper a little bit better. But after the last, it showed a great turn of foot. So it's roughly joint favourite for the Triumph Hurdle now.
Okay, so we don't know, obviously, with Zana here what the story is. But I would still say Zana here is a better horse than Tritonic.
I would too. And I would also say that Zana here is a better jumper.
Yes.
And I think Zana here would be very, very hard to beat. And you've also got French Seal in there too. So good race.
Interesting race, yeah.
Yeah, Tritonic was very good.
Good turn of foot. And that jump at the last, whoosh, gone.
Yeah. It's beaten the same horse twice. So you just... Cape Gentleman then won a novice hurdle there as well. Beat Calico by 3/4 of a length. You get the impression that maybe Cape Gentleman could be a bit better going right-handed. It won the Cesarewitch in the Cur over 2 miles. Obviously that's right-handed. It won its maiden hurdle and punched down over 2.5. It just didn't perform at all in Leopardstown on the last day, but a very, very nice horse. It's good to see Emmett Mullins with a winner. And Cape Gentleman was a half second quicker than Tritonic. Tritonic carried, I think, 10-12, and Cape Gentleman carried £3 more. So just keep it in perspective.
Half second.
Quicker, yeah. Saturday in Fairy House, Tiupu was very impressive again. It beat a horse called Tax for Max for Willie Mullins. I don't think in a long time I'm watching racing I've ever seen a horse run as keen as Tax for Max. Did you? Holy God.
Tax was racing to the max for a while there,
just incredible. But Tiupu is now 3 from 3 over hurdles because don't forget it won in no tie last October. But it's a very good horse and hopefully gets to Cheltenham. Jason the Militant was good.
He keeps surprising me, that horse.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a chance at the Champion Hurdle. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he deserves to run it.
Given a 155 rated horse weight, it's a fair performance.
Yeah, he gave Petit Mouchoir. Now, Petit Mouchoir is 10, so maybe he's on the decline slightly. But he did give it £9 and he beat it by 7.5 lengths. And it was actually 12 seconds quicker than Tiupu. So 12 seconds, like it's usually 15 seconds a furlong, so he beat it by a long, long way.
Good stopwatch work from you over the weekend, Gavin.
That's handy enough. On to Sunday in Fontwell, Bruno Up a Storm beat McFabulous by 5.5 lengths.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
I like McFabulous and he's just a very good horse. He's just not great.
He's just not a real top grade one yet, is he?
Is he? I just wonder, is he a complete flat track horse? Didn't like Cheltenham when he went to it. Was very, very good at Ascot, obviously. Was good at Kempton. Was good at Newbury. I just wonder, is he just a flat track horse? There's a lot of...
Yeah. You can't keep making excuses, though.
I know. I like it, though.
I'd imagine McFabulous and Bruno Up a Storm will both go to Aintree, so they're not going to go to Cheltenham, I don't think. Sunday, Naas, Celius Emery was impressive. He's 20-1 for the Champion Chase, 20-1 for the Ryanair, beat Daily Tiger by 11 lengths. His jumping was better than it had been. Willie said they'd done a lot of work on his jumping. But again, he mightn't go to Cheltenham.
Isn't it gas like with a horse like him, with his win ratio? If he was in any other stable, he would be tucked into his bed every night and given cocoa and looked after, and you'd be saying this is the best horse in the yard, like. And he's just with Willie Mullins, and you're going, Willie has so many of these horses, like. But this is a really good horse.
And like there's Echoes and Rain was very impressive, and she's not going to Cheltenham either. So,
but like Celius Emery is a really good, top-notch Grade 1 horse.
Certainly a grade 2 horse.
No,
anyway.
he's a grade 1 horse. He's
Okay.
won a grade 1.
He has. And novice hurdle in Punchestown, yeah.
Yeah, he's a grade 1 horse.
We're on to Zafani next. Beat Rock Chicken by 9 lengths, giving away £14 to the second.
Much better attitude this time.
Yeah, I would have had a serious question mark over its attitude before Sunday. Look, it was a poor race, and I'd say it'll do the horse's confidence the world of good to have gone and won a race. Before Sunday, it was rated 119.
Yeah.
So you'd have to say, it's probably going to get another £8 or £10 for that. So it might get into the boodles.
Yeah, like I was glad to see him get the job done. Like he kind of reminded me before that when I'd be playing football out in the back garden with my little nephews, and if you kicked out the ball and if it went too far, one of them would go, "Oh, will you get that to the other fella?" Do you know what I mean? He just didn't want to go that extra,
Yeah.
and I just thought that for a while with him, but to see him getting the job done was.
Yeah. Time wasn't too bad. It was 5 seconds slower than Echoes in Rain. Jerry Colombe, just to mention him for the champion bumper, he's 14-1. He's now 3 from 3, including a point to point. It was a bit of a messy race because the saddle slipped on the second favourite, and they were all watching him out in front, trying to avoid him, I'd say, more than anything. He beat a first timer by 3 3/4 lengths, and just to point out, it was 17 seconds slower than Echoes in Rain. So I don't think that's maybe good enough to win the champion bumper, and whether it goes or not, we don't know. And on to Monday in Punchestown, there was the Quevega Mares Hurdle, and Greg Norman didn't even get to run it, which is a pity. Would have been nice to see him run it, but Great White Shark. Quevega, the race was won by Black Tears by 5 lengths from the Getaway Star. I think she's 16-1 now for the Mares Hurdle. She could go to that, or she could go to the Coral Cup, but I'd imagine she'd go for the Mares Hurdle.
Yeah, very good. That was your joke?
Yeah.
Gavin told me I have this joke for you. I have this joke for you. This is a great joke. Oh, I'm not telling you now. That was the joke.
It's not great, is it?
It's terrible. Is that the week that was?
Yeah.
That's the week that was. So every week here on Upping The Ante, we preview one of the big races at the Cheltenham Festival, and we're going to preview the biggest of them all now. It is the Welsh oil-sponsored Cheltenham Gold Cup. And at the moment with Bet365, the 2-time champion Album Photo is their 9-4 favourite. It is 9-2 Champ, 6-1 Aplutar, 8-1 Royal Pagaille, 10-1 Kemboy, and 12-1 Bar, Gavin. Now, right, Album Photo.
Yes.
We talk about him a lot.
We do.
Right, but...
And rightly so.
Right, rightly so, okay? And if he wins a third Gold Cup, he is going to be an absolute superstar. So I'm going to put a question to you, okay? Santini,
Yeah.
Monolly,
Yeah.
and Lost in Translation. Sorry, other way around. Lost in Translation, Monolly, okay? Delta work, right?
Last year's Gold Cup.
I'm going to say to you, last year's Gold Cup,
Yeah.
okay? Okay, that's one thing, okay? Second thing I'm going to say to you is Annabelle Fly, right? The year before's Gold Cup. Now, all this horse can do is win, okay?
Yeah.
So he's winning races. But I'm going to put it to you that Champ and Aplutar are completely different to anything Album Photo has met in the Cheltenham Gold Cup before. Discuss.
You could, I'm answering your question, but you could go back and say the Best Mate didn't beat much. He beat Harbour Pilot and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So 2 years ago, going to the first fence, I've made this point before, going to the first fence, he's in the wrong position, gets jostled, makes a bit of a mistake, and he's last after the first fence. It was a proper gallop 2 years ago, and to me, he won the race very easy. Last year was a mess of a race. They went very, very slowly. They finished in a heap. He even ended up in front at the top of the hill, which wouldn't be normally his way of doing things. To me, he's done nothing wrong. Same preparation. He's only had a few runs in the last couple of years, so he's going there fresh. Willies are in great form. I think that the 3 miles 2 and a little bit, the 70 yards, it's an odd distance, and it seems to suit him. He stays forever. He's going to run a big race. He'll set a high standard, and you'll just have to get there.
Okay, so you tipped him up on the show at 3-1. He's now 9-4. So well done on that. A bit of kudos for you. If he does win, and you're hoping he does, where will he rank in the all-time stay-in chasers?
Look, it depends how you go, how you judge things. Is it just through ratings, or is it just through what they've achieved and stuff like that? You know,
how does Gavin Lynch rate things?
I don't know. Cato Star was rated a far better horse than, say, Best Mate. And I'm sure Cato Star will be still rated way ahead of Album Photo. But to win 3 Gold Cups, Willie Mullins won't care what he's rated.
No.
Willie had never won a Gold Cup. I'd say he was kind of thought there was a Houdini over him. But I think he's a great horse.
Now, I'm going to make the case for Champ, okay? Champ, and it's only one piece of evidence, I know, but I'm just saying that we saw something different in Champ at Newbury, okay? We saw an enthusiastic, attacking fences Champ.
Yes.
We saw something different in Champ. Everything was an effort last year at Cheltenham, everything. And it's only when you look back on the race again and you see it over and over again, it's rerun on Twitter, and you're going to see it so many times in the lead up to the Gold Cup this year. But to win that race in the manner he did was an astonishing feat. No matter what way you look at it, you can say that Allaho and Manila Indo were paddling coming to line. You can say that, but still, at the end of that race, to have that little bit of momentum to get there, I thought, given the way he jumped the worst of those three, and he still won the race.
Yeah.
And now you're looking and you're going, this horse has a bit of zip about him now. He's a bit of pace. He's a faster horse than we think. His jumping has improved. He's had a wind up, so he's obviously, that's helped him as well. So there's a lot of things now that's going in Champ's favour. That one run, I think, could be key. That light season, that one run, peaking on the big day, we think we know he stays. We think we know he stays. I see your keenness point, but I would almost go the other way with the keenness. So many times I've backed horses in Gold Cups that can't cope with that first circuit. Cannot cope. I remember our Duke was completely out of his comfort zone in the first circuit in the Gold Cup. There's other horses, even like Clanda's Oboe last year. He couldn't cope. I know it was Cheltenham, but there's a lot of horses that are out of their comfort zone in the first mile of the race. He won't. He definitely won't. So if he does switch off a little bit, I think he's got the stamina. I think he's got the pace, and now it's the final piece of the jigsaw. His jumping has improved.
Would he be your choice?
He would be my choice, Gavin. Yeah. So there you go, just ahead of Album.
Okay.
Like, Aplutar has a similar profile to Champ.
Yep.
In that he's a young, improving horse that could again, improve again to win a Gold Cup. So I just think either Champ or Aplutar will beat Album.
So to go back and answer your question, look, there's going to be a real good gallop on. Native River and say Frodon are going to be up there, so they're going to go a relentless gallop. What you're saying about the 2 miles, Aplutar beat Shack and Poursois over 2 miles. We saw Champ last week, the week before, in the Game Spirit, ran a cracker behind So Royal. Could Alboom Photo produce either of those two performances? No chance. Absolutely no chance could he do that over 2 miles. The thing that would worry me is Champ's jumping, which was a lot better the last day. But as you said in the RSA, as it was last year, it wasn't good. I would just worry.
It was safe. That's how I describe it, safe.
Yeah, it was just a bit slow.
Yeah.
And again, even Allaho's jumping can be a little bit high and a bit slow, but the last day Leopardstown jumped better. Aplutar, sorry.
Easy mistake to make. Same first name, same owner.
Apologies. I just would worry about Champ in the first circuit. Is he going to be keen? Because he has been keen before. Maybe he's copped on. He is 9, same age as Alboom Photo. But that would just worry me. So is he going to be keen and how's he going to jump? But his engine is brilliant.
Yeah. Final point on those horses, okay? Isn't it funny how Aplutar and Champ are both, pacey type of horses? Both kind of, you say, they've won and ran really well and raced over 2 miles.
Yeah.
And you say they're the pace angle. They're the, the turn of foot. Okay, they're the turn of foot. And yet, Aplutar won the Savills Chase at Leopardstown with a strong late burst just to get up. Stamina came into play. Champ in the RSA last year, it was that final 100 yards. So while they have got all this form over shorter, they stay.
Yeah. It's going to be a very, very good Gold Cup.
Can't wait.
I wouldn't
That's cheered me up now, that has that Cheltenham Gold Cup talk.
I can't have Santini, but I wouldn't totally discount Manila Indo.
Oh.
I just think that it'll improve a lot maybe for the last day. I could see him, because of the RSA form tied in with Champ, I could definitely see him being involved in the finish somewhere in the first 3 or 4. So it's going to be a great Gold Cup. It's the race of the week, and thankfully, like the Champion Hurdle, in the last few weeks, it's improved, which is good.
Okay, final question. The horse that will win it and the horse that cannot win it.
That's easy. Alboom Photo, I think he'll win it. And Santini, I just can't have. I just don't. I think he gets outpaced quite a lot in races.
Yeah, okay. And I would say Champ is the horse that can win it. And Santini, poor El Santini, if he's watching this now, his confidence will be dented.
Yeah.
Santini is the one horse that can't win the 2021 Welsh sponsored Cheltenham Gold Cup. So it's time to find out what's happening this week. Well, not a lot. Although, if you're from anywhere near Kelso, you can't go racing. I was going to say if you're anywhere near Kelso, you've plenty to look forward to, but you can't go. Well, you can watch it live on ITV.
You can watch it no matter where you are.
There is a cracking card at Kelso on Saturday. Now, this is a proper card. Bet365 sponsored them. I'm not just saying that because they sponsored the show as well. This is a really good card. Like, I was flicking through entries, and then you see, and I said, hold on a sec, we're only a few days away from Cheltenham. What's going on here? At 1:30 on Saturday is the Bet365 Premier Novices Hurdle, and my Drogo, who's quite a short price for the Supreme Novice Hurdle, looks like he's going to run here, and he's 2-1 favourite at the moment, I think, Bet365. And 2 mile 2 is perfect for my Drogo, because I think just 2 miles in the Supreme, and he might go there still. 2 miles in the Supreme just might be a little bit sharp for him, but I think 2 mile 2 Kelso it'll see him come into his own. I think My Drogo is a good horse. Now, it's a good race.
Yeah,
Annie
back
News,
Jack.
Yeah.
He's a chance.
He's a chance. Well, Annie News is a good horse for Neil Mulholland as well. But I just think My Drogo, he's a fine stamp of a horse. He's imposing.
That reminds me of a quick story. As we were going to a concert one night, so we went to a bar beforehand. This maybe 5 years ago, and we're standing at the bar. And the next thing, one of the lads, Larry, he turned around. Who was standing beside him? Only Anne Doyle, the newsreader, and he went, "Well, Anne, any news?"
That's quite funny.
It is.
Very like to think of that on the spot. That was quite impressive.
What else we got in Kelso?
In Kelso, we've got the More Battle Hurdle, also sponsored by Bet365. And there's plenty of prize money on offer here. And we could see the Emmett Mullen train, the shunter, winner of the Great Wood Handicap Hurdler.
I think there's a bonus from Bet365 if you win here and go on to win at Cheltenham. So, yeah, I'd fancy the shunter. I see he's 13-2. He won the Great Wood by 3 lengths off 128. He's in here off 135. The trip might be a dot short from like 2 miles. He probably needs a little bit further, but I think he's got a great chance.
Yeah, I certainly think he's got a great chance. I think he's an improving horse, and he ran well over fence at Leopardstown. You know, saddle slipped, I think, a little bit at Leopardstown.
Yeah, around the third last, I think the saddle slipped,
Yeah, so we're in agreement to shunter, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's got a cracking chance. And also at Newbury on Saturday, we've got the Great Wood Gold Cup, and I like one in this, Gavin. I was actually going to tip it up this week for potentially either the Grand Annual or the plate. Umbrigado for David Pipe. I thought it was quite impressive at Weatherby last time. It's a good jumper, but it kind of got to the front pretty early up the home straight at Weatherby last time and was kind of fiddly over the last couple, but it was vastly superior to his rivals that day. And I just think this horse is on a winning roll at the minute. He's improving, and I was praying he goes straight to Cheltenham. It looks like he's going to go here instead. He's a nice low weight. He's down the bottom. I think he's ahead of his mark. So Umbrigado for me in the Great Wood Gold Cup.
That'll be nice for David Pipe after remastered. Was it last weekend? So
yes.
The Red Mills Chase in Ireland is on today, Tuesday. Saturday, we've got the Flying Bolt Novice Chase, a Grade 3 over 2 miles. Sunday, no particular standout race, but that's the day that everybody used to go to Leopardstown to watch the gallops after racing. Yeah. So I used to go there.
Who's the one horse we can all remember from that?
Yeah, the Grey, Sky's the Limit.
Sky's the Limit. I remember he did an exceptional piece of work. Everybody's like, what's that grey? What's that grey? Yeah.
Especially because he was grey, he really stood out.
He did, yeah.
And he actually won the Coral Cup carrying top weight 11-12. He bolted up for Barry Geraghty by 4 lengths, but I think anybody that was there that day, they all back Sky's the Limit.
They did. They certainly did. So that's Leopardstown on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's what's happening this week. Now, before we get stuck into our latest selections for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival, we're going to have a look back at what we've tipped so far. Now, everybody tells me, Gavin,
right?
And I'm inundated with people telling me, geez, Gavin Lynch's list is great, Gavin is great, Gavin, the sun shines out of Gavin's backside, blah, blah, blah. Now, your list is fantastic, okay? And fair play to you, okay? But hold on a second here. I went through my list and I was like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
20-1 Brave Man's Game.
Yep.
Happy with that.
Yep.
16-1 Imperial Alcazar. Happy with that. Intuca's 18-1. Happy with that. St. Sam's 16-1. Happy with that. Colreevy 16-1.
Yeah.
Like, all these horses that I've mentioned now are single figure prices. So
Mr. Fisher's going to get his ground.
Mr. Fisher 33-1 for the Ryanair.
He could get his ground.
He could get his ground. And he's a good horse, Gavin. Now, I know I've had my problems with my misters in the last couple of weeks with Mr. Coffey not doing me exactly a favour. But I think people are being a bit harsh on me.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
Yeah.
It's not that easy.
It's not that easy. Go on. Wax lyrical about yours there. You're flying.
Sure. Just hope they all get there, Dave, really.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's been a worry.
Look, there's been some good ones and some bad ones. It's always the same with Ante-Post. One thing we have to keep in mind is it looks like the ground at Cheltenham will be quite decent, I would say. So
gorgeous weather at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, so just keep it in mind that if Horses of All was won on heavy ground, are they going to cope with good to soft? So just...
Okay, now before we reveal this week's tip, right? Your selection this week, confidence-wise, high or low?
It's, reasonable. It's in a handicap, so...
In a handicap.
You know, it's
single figure or double figure price?
It's a 10 to 1 shot.
Oh, right, okay. 10 to 1. I thought you were going to say the name there.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, 10 to 1, okay.
10 to 1 shot, so... The handicaps at Cheltenham are very, very competitive. I like going for, this lad's a 7-year-old, he's a novice, so I like novices. Okay. That's enough.
Will we let them know?
Yep.
We'll let them know in a couple of minutes. So it's time for our latest Ante-Post picks for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival, which is just a fortnight away. Gavin, take it away. You've given a few clues away now.
Yeah,
so
we just checked. It was 10 to 1 earlier, but it's 8 to 1 now. I haven't backed it yet, so you can't blame me. A horse called Happy Go Lucky for the Ultima. Trained by Kim Bailey and ridden by the bravest jockey of them all, David Bass. Only ever had 7 career runs. It was third to Time Hill last year at Cheltenham in a novice hurdle over 2.5. That was back in November 19. It then went on to finish fourth in the Martin Pipe, I think, off 137. Cheltenham Fire fell in front of it the last, so it might have been third, but that was still a good run. It's had 3 runs over fences. It won at Stratford, then it got beaten behind Getaway Trump, and then it won in Cheltenham in December over 3 mile, 1.5 furlongs. I think that was on the new course, but he has form on the old course as well. He has a rating of 147, which is fine. He jumps great. He has 3 entries at Cheltenham. He's in the National Hunt Chase. He's in the Brown Advisory against, say, Monkfish. And he's in the Ultima. I think he'll go for the Ultima. I seen an interview with Kim Bailey about maybe 10 days ago, and he said that the horse is going to Cheltenham. So don't worry that he hasn't ran since December. I presume they're maybe trying to protect his mark by not running. I think he'll go close. He could be carrying around 11 stone in the Ultima, which is fine. He jumps great, as I said. He's an unexposed novice. He's only had the 3 runs. He seems to like Cheltenham. He's performed very well there. So I think the Ultima, obviously it's a very competitive race, but I think at 8-1, happy-go-lucky is a great chance.
There you go. Happy-go-lucky. Does it describe yourself, Gavin? Would you be a happy-go-lucky kind of fella?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. When it suits you.
Especially if we're playing golf.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Happy-go-lucky. Gavin Lynch's latest selection in the Ultima Handicap Chase. Now, my turn. And this was 20-1 yesterday. I'm bloody sick. It's only 14-1 now at Bet365, but so be it. I still think 14-1 is a little bit of value. I think it'll go off a single figure price. It is Daisha Abba in the Kim Muir. Now, I had an earlier stab at the Kim Muir. Unfortunately, Schoolboy Hours didn't turn up and won't be turning up in the Kim Muir because he's not entered. But Daisha Abba, 14-1. Now, one thing I love, Gavin, right, is horses running in races at Cheltenham that have previously ran in the same races.
Yep.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like Grand Annual, think of
Le
Parisienne, Croco Bay, Next Sensation. I just love it. It's just something because they know the hustle and bustle of what's required, and the trainers almost have a feel for what's needed to win the race. So he was 5th in the race last year. It was a funny sort of a race last year to Kim Muir, a very strange race. Like coming down the hill, Daisha Abba really crept into it, and I almost thought he just wasn't enough of a man at the time to win a race like that. I thought last time at Sandown, when I was watching him, he was a street fighter. All the way up the home straight, when he needed it, when Dickie needed him, he was there for him. And I said to me, if he goes back to that race now, to the Kim Muir, he's ready for it now. He's ready. He's been made a man of. He goes into the Kim Muir this year off the same mark as he did last year, 142, and I think he's better than his mark.
Okay.
I think now he was pulled up on his first 2 starts this year, so that's a little bit worrying. But he is a bit in and out. But I think 142, Kim Muir, Daisha Abba.
Would you worry that his 2 wins were in Sandown on heavy, right-handed on heavy?
I would, but I just think if you watched the Kim Muir last year, like there were more positives than negatives to be taken out of that performance. And I'd advise people to watch it because he travelled through the race like a really good horse. And I just think maybe he's just a man now.
He might be second to time to get up.
I'd nearly take that at this stage, Gavin. So there you go, Daisha Abba, the latest tip in our selections for the 2021 Cheltenham Festival. So folks, that's it for episode 17 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365. And you lucky ducks, you're going to get 2 next week, Gavin. You're going to get 2 for the price of 1.
Lovely.
We're going to have our normal show on Tuesday and then a special treat, a live Upping The Ante Cheltenham Festival preview next Friday the 12th. It's going to be a live Upping The Ante Cheltenham Festival preview. Do you think you can do live, Gavin?
We'll chance it.
What do you like live?
Sure.
Okay. Mistakes. I think people will love to see the mistakes.
Exactly,
They would love to see behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
When I curse and say the wrong thing and stutter and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to get to see all that in the live show.
Good.
Live, Gavin. You won't sleep for a week, will you?
I'll be all right.
So that is Friday the 12th when we have our live Upping The Ante Cheltenham Festival preview. It is the 12th. Well, of course, we're going to be back with you next Tuesday for our usual episode 18 of Upping The Ante. And Gavin, I'm already looking forward to it because that will mean there's only 7 days to go until the Cheltenham Festival.
Yeah, so 2 weeks today. So yeah, please God, everything goes well in the meantime. And looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it is right. Get to practice on the couch, Anne-Marie. Whoa. Practice, being live. Pretend it's live. You can do a bit of practice.
Questions and answers, yeah.
Questions and answers. There you go. So, folks, that's it for episode 17 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. If you're having a bet this week, don't forget to gamble responsibly. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Thanks for watching.